Alright guys, back for another one. In this one I thought, well, we might make up some jig hooks. I know I've done some other ones before, they were quite a basic one. But these ones are going to be basically ultimate heavy duty jig hooks. I've made these for years and used them plenty of times and they do work a treat. And I thought, well, time to share. And I know what it's like when you're trying to find decent jig hooks and sizes and everything else for your lures. And it's just sometimes easier just to make them. It's definitely cheaper. So what I'm going to do is just show you how I make my ultimate jig hooks. You can make them for your little micro jigs, okay, your little flutter jigs, as well as like knife jigs, okay. I'll put my glass on so I can see a bit better. As you notice, I've got new glasses. The old trusty ones with one arm, well, they died. The other arm fell off and they're no good now. Anyway, so back to it. This is a very simple way to make some really good jig hooks. Okay, guys? So as you see, there's your little 100 gram flutter jig. And they come with little hooks like this, and not bad for reef and bits and pieces. No good for kingfish, and trying to find bigger ones can be, a pain in the ass at times. And they can be really expensive. So what I started doing years ago is making them, but I just started doing it for the flutter jigs here. I made a couple here. I think a single hook will work better than doubles, but we'll have a look. So here's one of my little flutter jigs. And this is one of the hooks I made, okay? I think the single will probably work better than the double. See, just a nice little heavy duty hook. It's actually on wire, and I put heat shrink on it, and I stiff rig them like we do with marlin lures. I like the stiff rigs, they actually seem to hook up a lot better for me. So that's not bad. And just because I've put heat shrink over it doesn't mean you have to. You can leave just the bare wire if you want, because it is made out of wire. The little bit of wire won't matter because the jigs are all metal. There's metal in everywhere, so a bit of wire's not going to hurt. And also, if you leave the wire, you can also dress it up. Like you can put a lot of tinsel and bits and pieces on the hook, like some guys do. Wrap it up, dress it up, make it look fancy. But I don't think you don't really need all that. I just like a bit of heat shrink. It's a bit of colour and it stiff rigs it. I like the stiff rig. I did make one here, the 2-hook rig. I'm going to use it this year. I'm going to use the 2-hook on this. It does seem rather stiff. I don't know if that's going to work as well. But, I don't know. Should do. We'll see. Doesn't look too bad, I suppose, on the micro jig. You can always, also too, if you just want to use a little bit of heat shrink, just put heat shrink over the top of the crimp, like a little bit, and leave the rest so the hooks are free swinging, and you just got heat shrink over the crimps. Just a little tiny bit. That'll still dress it up and still look pretty good. The opportunities with these things are endless. You can make them longer, you can make them shorter, like you saw there. You can make them single hook, you can make them double hook. Like on the knife jigs, you can buy this one. It's a metal hook, metal arm. I actually like this. It works really well. I've caught a lot of fish with these ones. I don't like the fibre ones like on here, especially when you're jigging in deep water. And the bigger ones, I find they get tangled up a lot. It drives you nuts, especially if you buy cheaper ones. They get tangled, but the metal ones don't tangle, so they're not bad. But these things are getting harder to find, and very hard to find. So I started making my own years ago. And I just make them like so. Look at that. This is a 150-pound wire crimped on to a solid ring. And the thing I do a bit different is to try, like I said, opportunities, and what you can do this is endless. You can see the top one there, I've got stiff rigged. That's nice and stiff. The bottom one, I'll put a bit of heat shrink over the hook, but the hook itself's free swinging. And you can make them as long or as short as you want. You can make them shorter, up higher on the head. You can make them longer if you want. Like I said, opportunities endless. You just have a bit of fun. That's all it's going to be, is just whatever length the wire you cut. But this is just one of the ones I made years ago, and I do run it. It does work quite well. It doesn't tangle, it doesn't break off, and when the leather jackets are out there, you don't lose your hooks. Mackerel season, they don't bite you off. Occasionally you do hook a wahoo on when you're knife jigging. They don't bite you off, so it really works well. Anyway, enough of that. Let's show you how to make this thing really quickly and easily. I'll move that out of the way. So what I've got here, this is 150-pound multi-strand, or you could say 49-strand wire. So it's nice and soft, you can work with it. The hardest part about this is trying to find this wire. This wire can be hard to find at times. Generally, if you're struggling to find it, go online, look for 49 strand wire online. Just buy it online, guys, it's easier. When shops get it in, it usually sells out pretty quickly. It's hard to find. Okay, and when this 150 pound wire I've got, the crimps I found to suit it, there's little black double crimps. And these are a size, well, these are 0.05, so very small. But they work a treat. I'm missing a part, I need a ring. I've got me two hooks, I've got jig hooks here. I'm just going to make up a quick one for you guys to show you. Hang on, just need a ring. And the other one important part you'll need is just a solid ring, okay? So I attach this wire to a solid ring, and the solid ring is also where you tie the line to. So all the pressure between you and the fish is on the solid ring. Nothing on the split ring. The split ring only holds the lure on. That's all the split ring does. Holds the lure. All the pressure, the hooks, and between you and the hooks is on that solid ring. So you've got to buy yourself a packet of solid rings. Okay, let's make this. I've got 150 pound wire, crimps to suit, a couple of small hooks, a solid ring. Basically, I'm just going to make a quick rig here. It's probably going to be for a longer jig. Because I will admit, the longer that they are, the easier they are to make, the shorter they get. A little bit more fiddly, but it's definitely fairly easy and a lot cheaper than buying them. Let's go about 6 inches there, okay? Just so you get an idea how to make this. 6 inches of wire. First thing I'm going to do is just put on the solid ring, sorry, not a crimp. Just a solid ring. Now put on a crimp on one end. Fold the other end around, because basically what we're going to do is just crimp the solid ring in the middle. No, not quite in the middle. So when I do this, I'll bring them up at, yeah, you can see the two lengths, okay? One shorter, one a bit longer. Now I just slide the crimp down and crimp the solid ring on, making a nice little loop, but still free swinging. Stand it on end and just crimp it down. Okay. That's the first part. Solid ring's on, done. That's how easy it is. Now we're going to do, I need another couple of crimps. I'll put the short one on first. Short or long, it doesn't really matter. So crimp on first, the short wire, then your hook. Back in, just when you're doing this, guys, generally have the lure you're going to make it for and adjust the lengths accordingly to your lure. I'm just making one willy-nilly here just to show you guys. So, actually I might make it a bit shorter in case I do use it. I'll shorten that one up. And once again, let the hook free swing. Just in case you want a free swing, you can always stiff rig it if you want to put some heat shrink on later. So I'll make that one. Just crimp that down, like so. You can see the tag again there, we'll cut that off in a minute. Now once again, repeat the process on the longer one. So crimp on first, but this is where I get a little bit different. You can see which way that hook's hitting, the top one. Now I'm going to want the bottom one going the other way, so you just measure it like so. You'll know which way the hook's going to sit. I like to keep them, when I'm using two hooks, keep them separate, point in different ways. I think it just helps with the hook up rate. Now, I don't want to make that one too much longer, so something about there looks pretty good. Okay, now we'll crimp that one down as well. Like so. And basically, look at that. You just made yourself a pair of jig hooks. That's going to be for a knife jig, it's fairly long. How's that? All you got to do is attach your split ring to that with your lure hanging off it, tie your line, away you go. And as I said, you don't have to put heat shrink over these things. You can just put a bit of tinsel and whatever else on the hooks to dress them up if you like. I like using a bit of heat shrink so I couldn't be bothered tying all the tinsel and stuff on. I'll cut off the excess. See, like so. Like that. Nice little set of cyst hooks. If I get one of the knife jigs, like that's, I put that there, like that. So you got your split ring there. If you put your ring up top, it's going to sit about there. That's where the hooks are going to sit. That's not bad. And these things won't tangle and twist, won't tangle around each other. But of course, once again, if I was using this size jig, I would have bigger hooks than that. This is just an example so you guys get an idea how to make it. It's really, really easy, as you see. Now, just to top it off, I will put a bit of heat shrink on these ones. So all I do, if you want to stiff rig it, all we do is just measure it so it goes over the eye and over the crimp. Okay. Now just bend little hooks. Make sure you've got the right size heat shrink to go over the eyes of the hooks. And you just feed it around your hook. A little bit of muck around, but it's not too bad. Like so. I've got a bit of a kink in the end there, just to be a pain, but it'll come out. Well, this is not going to plan. Get on there, you bugger. I made a couple of sets before, quickly and easily, a lot quicker than this. Must be to the camera. Come on, you bugger, get on there. Anyway, guys, I think you get the drift. Heat shrink on, over the hook. I've sort of messed that one up. I've done a great job there. We'll leave that one there. Give you an idea when you shrink that down to be like a solid one. And if you just want to cover the crimps up, just go a very short bit, like the length of the crimp. I generally do this one. Go over the eye. See, it does go over the eye, that one. Just over the crimp like so. And we'll just won't cover up. Just knock that one down over the crimp. So, look at that. You got one over the crimp there, hook's free swinging. That looks pretty nice. Just imagine that one is up over the crimp too. That'd be a stiff hook. This one would be a swinging hook. And there's your little set of assist hooks, basically. And just adjust to the length of these according to whatever jig you want to run and hook size. But from micro jigs to big knife jigs and everything in between, just use 150-pound wire, heat shrink or tinsel, whatever you want to dress it up with, and adjust the hooks length and the hooks accordingly. It's so easy. It is usually a bit of fun to do it. I sit down in front of the TV and make a few at times. It's fun, it's usually quick, and they are the ultimate set of hooks because they don't get bitten off, they don't break off, they don't tangle, and they're cheap, depending on what sort of hook you buy. Anyway, guys, being jigging season for us now and then coming into mackerel season, I hope you give these hooks a go. I reckon you will like them, they do work well. And get out there and have some fun. If you do manage to catch a few fish, let me know in the comments below. Much appreciated. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.